Welcome to the story of a teenage girl who was murdered by her best friends. Skylar Annette Neese was born on February 10th in 1996 in Morgantown in West Virginia. Skylar grew up here. Her mum was called Mary Neese, and she was an administrative assistant. Her dad worked at Walmart. Skylar was an only child. Her parents were very involved. It was a loving family. Skylar was a very positive, energetic, and smart girl. She was one of the top students in her class. Skylar also worked a part-time job at Wendy's, where she worked really hard. It was a very social girl. She loved social media, especially Twitter. She shared all her emotions and thoughts there. When Skylar was 8 years old, she met her friend Sheila Eddy. They became best friends right away. They went to middle school together and met Rachel Schoaf. Rachel was a very talented girl who loves to act, dance, and perform. The three of them became best friends very quickly. Sheila was a feisty girl. She was the leader of the group. Skylar was the opposite. She was very sweet and shy. Rachel and Sheila were over at Skylar's house most of the time. Skylar's parents were very welcoming and began to see the girls as their bonus daughters. Especially with Sheila, her parents were going through a divorce, so Skylar's parents wanted to be there for her. The three of them enjoyed doing fun activities such as going to the mall, shopping, and sleepovers. After a while, the girls started to get different interests. Rachel and Sheila started smoking pot when they were 16 years old. Rachel and Sheila became closer to each other, which led to tension in the group. Skylar felt left out. She ventilated her emotions on Twitter. One night, the girls were having a sleepover. They were drinking a lot, and Rachel and Sheila started to get intimate with each other. Skylar was sitting next to them and feeling awkward. Rachel came from a religious family, and this was something that needed to be a secret. The girls started to get scared that Skylar would tell on them. They were having discussions on Twitter, and Skylar began to feel left out even more. She was feeling lonely and sitting at home alone while Sheila and Rachel were going out and posting about it on social media. In 2012, Sheila and Skylar went on vacation to Myrtle Beach together. They argued the whole week. When they got home, Sheila tells Rachel that Skylar is awful and that they need to get rid of her. It's July 5th. Skylar comes home from work at Wendy's. She kisses her parents goodnight and goes to bed. She waits until her parents go to sleep. Then she climbs out of her window to go outside. Rachel and Sheila were waiting for her in a car. Skylar gets into the car with them. Skylar thought they were just going for a ride and having fun. Sheila and Rachel brought weird things like clean clothes, a shovel, bleach, and towels. They drove for a while and parked the car at a place with a lot of trees and shelter. The three of them get out of the car and they started to walk into the woods. Sheila and Rachel told Skylar they forgot their lighter and asked her to get it for them. Skylar turned around to get back to the car, and out of nowhere, Sheila and Rachel started to count to 3. This was their sign to stab Skylar with a knife they hid under their sweaters. Skylar tries to fight back, but she has no chance. She was stabbed to death by her own friends. Her last words were, "Why?" Sheila and Rachel brought a shovel to bury Skylar, but the ground was too hard to get through. They brought her body under a tree and covered it with stones and leaves. The next day, Skylar's parents left the house early in the morning to go to work. When the dad came home from work, her dad wanted to give her a ride to work. When he went looking for her, she was nowhere to be found. He started to get worried because Skylar was never late for work. When they got a call from Wendy's telling them that Skylar didn't show up for work, they started to panic. They called Skylar's friends, which means they also called Sheila to ask her if she has seen Skylar anywhere. Sheila tells them she had called Skylar last night, but she hadn't seen her. The parents decide to call the police. Later, Sheila changes her story and tells the parents that she had seen Skylar that night, that they went for a ride, but that she dropped her off in her neighborhood at 12. The story doesn't rhyme with the camera footage at Skylar's house, which showed Skylar getting in a car of 12:30, but they couldn't identify the car. During this time, Sheila posts a lot on Twitter about Skylar's missing, things like, "I miss you. Please come back." Sheila was very interested and involved with the case. She was joining searches and handing out flyers. Rachel wasn't as involved and was very nervous. She gave the police the impression she knew more. The parents of Skylar got mad at the police for thinking Skylar's best friends had anything to do with her missing. Skylar has been missing for half a year now, and the rumor is that she went to a house party and died of an overdose. The police didn't give up on the case, and there were new clues. Camera footage at a gas station where Sheila's car was spotted around 12:30. This means the story that Sheila and Rachel told was made up. Rachel changed the story again. She told the police they went for a drive and got out of the car at some point. Skylar ran into the woods, and they never saw her again. The parents didn't trust the girls anymore. Rachel was still very stressed and nervous. She couldn't hold the secret anymore. She told the police that her and Sheila stabbed Skylar to death. She told the police where the body was, and they both got arrested. The reason they gave for killing Skylar was that they didn't like her anymore. They both get a lifelong in prison. The end. Please like and subscribe to this channel and leave recommendations for other stories.